Recording in progress.
All right, let's see if I can fix.
What's going on, everybody? This is Lauren with TMF Apparel and the Tough Motherfucker Podcast. We are going live again tonight. It is Wednesday, May 11th. We're joined again by Jeff Kerins, and we're going to talk about life, man. Life, stress, anxiety, depression, and how to solve and fix some of these problems in your life. Real world problems, real world solutions. So if you'd like to join the show, type it in the comments. Let's get you in here and let's talk about it. Check out the links in the description as well. There's links to Jeff's website, the Surrender Club, jeffreykerins.com, and all of the other stuff that's in there. T-shirts and investments, all that fun shit. But let's get after it. I'm going to go ahead and pop Jeff in here. What's up, man? You watching the old Maple Leafs? That's who he watches because he's Canadian. He's big on
Buddy,
hockey.
I'm all about the Maple Leafs, man. This is, I don't know if this is our year, but we've got the Stanley Cup champions on the rope. We're going to try and close it out tomorrow night in Game 6. I think we can do it. I got faith.
Yeah?
Yeah, man. How did you know to bring up that question?
Man, you're always posting stuff. Maple Leafs,
man.
go Leafs. You know, you're a hockey guy. Hockey is the thing right now where you're at, so that's why.
I am a fan. Now, just so you know, that little screen you have in the middle,
Yeah, this little guy
you
here.
can hide it. There's
I can
an
hide
option
that?
button.
There's no
You can
option
hide it.
for that. Hide thumbnail video? Now it just says talking.
There you
Fair.
go.
Whatever.
Mhm.
There you go.
So, how was
gone.
your day?
I had I had ups and downs. I'm still sorting through these thoughts on the daily, you know? Like I got up, I didn't sleep well. Honestly, I didn't sleep well. I took like 4 melatonin last night and I went to bed and I woke up at like 3 a.m. like I had slept all night and I was like, that ain't ideal. Part of me loves it. Like if I'm in a good place, I would love to wake up 3 o'clock and feel like I slept all night and get to go back to sleep. That feeling is fucking great. But I woke up and I was like, fuck, man. And I was like wide awake. So I went back to sleep and then I haven't been setting an alarm. I've just been waking up whenever I wake up. So that's been around like 7 a.m., 6:37. And then I ended up, snoozing a little bit and then kind of running late because I tried to make it to the gym by 8. And I was like, fuck, it's like 8 o'clock already. So I rushed out the door, made it there. I was sore, dude, man. This walking backwards uphill bullshit, it does something to you. I ain't gonna lie, man. You feel it. I feel it in my damn hamstrings.
Well, I'll tell you one thing about walking backwards uphill. For first couple times, it puts you in the present moment.
I mean, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if I'd
Because
say that.
it's so awkward that the body's not used to it. The subconscious is not used to it. So when you're doing that, you have to put all your conscious effort not to trip, not to whatever. So it's like what you're not doing is you're not thinking about the past. You're not thinking about the future. You're just walking your ass backwards.
I just watching TikToks, man. I don't even pay attention to it. I put the treadmill on 15 incline, 1.5 mile per hour, and I just walk backwards for 10 minutes. And then I turn around, I stretch my legs out, and then I get off that sucker. But I definitely feel it in my hamstrings. It's doing something. Because I'm not over there doing leg day like I was. And I'm freaking sore. Like I walked out, this morning I was walking in the gym like, man, my freaking body is just tired of this shit. But I've got to go. I have to get up and I have to go at 8 o'clock for only one reason only. Water the flower and plant over there every day.
You wanted to flower a plant.
I wanted to water the flower that I planted over there, right? Trying to make a new friend over there. I'm trying to meet people. So.
Oh, that type of flower.
Yeah, that flower.
Oh,
So
I'm walking through the tulips.
Yeah, I'm walking over there and I'm just like, what's up? I got to say hi every day, be consistent
Mm-hmm.
to try to to me, like the gym is the weirdest, most awkward place to try to meet a person. It just is because like most people are creepy in the gym. Like most men are creepy, right? Women are there to work out. They don't want to be bothered. So if you're gonna walk up and approach a woman at the gym, it's to me it's an awkward spot. You got to not be creepy. There's a fine line between like being friendly and being creepy.
And what is that line? Please educate me.
The line is you obviously you can notice them, but you can't stare at them, right? Don't get caught being like, oh shit, especially if they're doing like squats or something creepy. Don't don't do that. Don't compliment their appearance at all. Never. Never say anything about how they look. That's way off the line. Don't do that.
Should I be writing this down?
Yeah, someone might want to write it down. But you can't do that. Don't interrupt them to say something to them. You've got to find the right moment because look, man, people at the gym with their earbuds in or their headphones on, they are not fucking with you. They are not there to talk to you.
Can't so you walk by and like pull a hamstring?
I mean, I don't think that. I think they're just gonna laugh. I don't think that's really.
Hey, laugh. Some women like a man who just makes them laugh.
Yeah, I guess funny? You want to be funny, but that's like, I don't know, it's so stupid. But you gotta do something different at the gym. You gotta stand out a little more at first, like in a non-creepy way. So I think I even watched some videos about it. I watched some videos. Some people made YouTube videos about it, and I was curious as to what they said. And every one of them, every woman interviewed, if you want to approach them at the gym, wait until they're done. Wait until they're done and they're leaving. Then you talk to them. Okay. Don't interrupt them. Never interrupt them.
Okay, first of all, I don't go to gyms, but do you want to know what I would do?
What would you do?
I'd walk up and been like, hey, my apologies for the interruption. My name's Jeff. I just wanted to know what's your final exercise for the day? Like, what time are you going to be done working out? And she's either going to know, she's going to give me a time or saying what the last set is, or she's going to ask why. And I'd be like, well, I watched on YouTube how to approach attractive women. So I just want to wait. And they say, I'll wait till the end. So I don't want to stare at you. I don't want to try and time it. That's what I would do.
The problem with that approach is that you're interrupting them.
There you go. See?
That's the problem. That's exactly where you go wrong.
Exactly. Like strike one, right?
Strike one. They're like, well, you're doing the opposite of what you're supposed to do.
But that means I'm up to bat right now if I'm only getting a strike. That means I got two more.
I don't know, man. That might not even get three. They might just hit you with the ball. Take a base.
It's like first of all, like again, I don't go
Empire to threw you out. Get one strike, you're out of here.
Well, you tell me, big boy, how you play it out. But
yeah, I mean, I'm just sitting. Look, this is what the consensus came down to: is you can approach them at the end of the workout and just tell them, "Good job." That's it. Good job. Hey, man, good job over there. Crushed it. Just compliment what they did, and that's it. And that's you've got to start with something that's like that. Very simple. I know. I see your face. You're like, what? Yeah, real simple. And then the next day, because you gotta build up the rapport. Yes, Don't be so forward because they're not there.
So why not get it out of the way?
Because you're gonna because they're more inclined. They're more on the defense out the gate than anything else. You're not even gonna get for you to get your foot in the door. They would have to be probably into you off the jump. And you just happen to,
I believe they would have to find you attractive just to look at, first of all.
Right. Well, yeah. I think that's part of it, for sure. And then, outside of that, I don't know.
Well, first of all, I don't know if I'd be hitting on women at the gym, period. I never have. Probably never will. But, I don't know. Maybe, no, I got nothing on that.
I don't know. Like I said, it's a tough spot. But, also...
It's not really. I'm
is.
More like rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah, you are. You're going to, man.
Give it your best shot in the first go. And if it doesn't work out, be as polite and as natural as possible. But then it's kind of like, if she does say no, you got to... It's like I gotta switch gyms.
got-
I gotta like,
Right. There you
there's a lot on the
go.
line here.
You're putting a lot
Like,
on the
how
line
am I
'cause
supposed to work out now
I can
when
no
I know
longer
you rejected me
can't
as
come
you do
from
the
8 to
lap
9.
around the gym?
I can no longer show up
Like
from
my
8 to 9
I don't know
a.m.
if my ego could handle that, especially like when I
Right.
think you're a 9 and I'm only like a 6, maybe a five and a
Yeah.
half. Like,
Right. So my approach has been simple. My approach has been very simple, which is if I see you in the morning and you're not working out, I'm going to say hi to you. I'm going to give you some kind of nickname of some sort that's playful or address you that way. Like I know your name, but I'm just going to say something else, right? And, have a good workout. What are you working out today? All right. And then maybe you can make a joke off of that. I think that's a good segue. But then don't be like, I'm going to interject myself into your morning routine. You do you. And then at the end of it, if I want to say something to you as I'm leaving, cool. But I'm not going to sit there and take up a bunch of your time because you probably also have shit to do. Now, if I see you doing something and I have a tip for that, like something you're not good at, and I
oh
have an
yeah,
example of
people
this.
love being pointed out what shit they're
Yeah.
not good at. Yeah,
Yeah.
like, oh yeah,
You just
good
give a
luck.
tip. It
Good.
worked.
Oh yeah, just the tip.
Worked.
Yep.
Just the
Yep.
tip,
Good luck,
Jeff.
man. You
This
good
is
luck.
what
You
I
tell
did.
me how that works out.
This is how it worked out, right? So this morning, I'm running late. I get to the gym. I pull in. This chick happens to pull in at the same time, so we're getting there at the exact same time, walking in at the same time, right? Across the parking lot. I see her as we get to the door, and I was like, "What's up, killer?" Look over. She's like, "Hey, what's up? Good morning." I said, "Good morning." I said, "Sore as shit. That's what's up." Hold the door open for her. Cool. All right. Well, I'm gonna get after it.
Revelry. Love it.
Let me get after it, right? All right. Boom. She goes, does her thing. I do my walk, whatever. I'm lifting stuff in my own world. And I'm waiting to see what she's going to do today, right? She goes over, she's doing the handstand thing. She's doing a little better at handstand, but that was my good segue because that was the introduction, was the handstands. I could do a handstand. I helped her with that the first time. So that was the first tip, was handstands. Second tip, I see her doing dips. Dips are hard. Look, I don't care who you are. Dips suck. So I see her over there trying to do dips on the assisted dip. And I was like, I actually filmed something with Jacob, who's a trainer, about how to get better at dips. We did dips and pull-ups and push-ups and stuff. So I did some back exercises, which I had no intention of doing. It was just in her vicinity, right? So I go over there, I do some back workouts. I'm like, I'm about to get up out of here. But I see her, I walk by, and I'm like, oh, dips. Dips are tough. And she was like, huh? And she takes her earbuds out because she's got them in. I know she has them in, but I say it loud enough to get her attention. So I'm walking by. She's like, yeah. I'm like, man, dips are hard. And she's like, yeah, I'm trying. I said, well, I'll give you a tip. Don't use the assisted dip. Just start from the top, lower yourself down slow, and then repeat. Don't try to push up. That's the proper way to learn how to do them, to strengthen those muscles. And she was like, oh, I'm going to try that. Thanks. And I was like, all right, well, I'm out of here. I'll see you tomorrow. Fist bump. And she gave me a weak fist bump. And then she goes, oh, that was really weak. And I was like, I'm just going to assume you're tired. And that wasn't some weak ass shit, but I'll see you tomorrow. And she said, all right. And then I turned and left. Right. So the interaction is very simple, to the point. I notice you. I'm not going to take up much of your time. I give you something to work with. And then every day, just something to keep doing until it's like, hey,
watering the flower,
right? That's my objective. It makes me get up at 8 a.m. every day. So
perfect. So,
but that happened, and then I came home. I rode the stock market. It was almost a slit your wrist kind of day. Jesus. But that ended up being okay. Good thing you got
your gardening done while you had game.
No shit. That ended up being, it wasn't the best day, but it wasn't terrible. And then my day was over, and I was like, man, I had some shirts to print, but I got stuck in a fucking, like, I want to do something else with someone else, but there's nobody else, dude. So that hit me. And I was like, well, fuck. I went upstairs. I laid down with the dog. put on some sad music. I'm like, I feel like crying a little bit, so I'm just gonna try to trigger this emotion. Let's get this out. So I listened to some sad music, and I don't know. I had a couple tears, I guess. It wasn't anything groundbreaking. I laid there with the
No
dog.
breakthroughs, just yeah.
No, I was just like, and I laid there with the dog, and I was like, all right. And then got to get up, feed him. So I got up and took him out and printed some couple more shirts, and I was like, I need to do something. Made a video for YouTube on my other channel, and I still feel it. I went on a walk with a friend of mine. She's been having shoulder pain, and she's been going through some shit. I tried to get her to come on the show. She's still kind of on the fence about it, just talking about shit. But so I went on a walk with her at the park, and then I came back here, and we're here. And I just every day it's just this up and down struggle inside still. Like I listen to relationship coaches on YouTube. I listen to those videos, try to deal with this. And it's hard because I feel like I know what I need to do, but my brain is like, you're 39, you shouldn't play games. Like life should be easier. It should be like, this is how I feel, this is what I want. We move on from that, but it's not. If you want to get what you want, you've got to play the game, or you lose. I'm just not. I just so don't want to play the game. From that, I think a lot of people are there.
Well, what I learned about wanting stuff, it can create a lot of negative emotions. Now,
Right.
again, back to the Buddhas, they what's their saying is that all human desire is the reason for all human suffering, because we attach to it. I want. As soon as I say I want, I'm attaching to whatever it is. And I'm going to create the feeling of lack because I don't have it because I want it.
Okay. Yeah.
So when you learn to let go, okay, then it's like what will be will be. Like Wu Wei, a twig in a river. That's what the Taoist believes. That you just going down the river. Sometimes you get snagged. Sometimes it's the rapids. Sometimes it's calm. But you go with the flow. You enjoy the moment and then detach. Let it go. And it's I'm not a master of it, but I can become conscious when I realize I'm creating the feeling of lack or I'm creating this anxiety. That's in that moment I become metacognitive and I let go. Like I consciously do the reprogramming. Okay, yeah, it sucks right now, but it'll work itself out. It'll work itself out. Now, slowly but surely, since I've really put that attitude in of just kind of really acceptance, making a more conscious effort, especially coming out of lockdown and 2 years of isolation. I realized that I've lost some of my social cues. Like I don't know how, like in my area, it's a heavily Asian area and everyone's still masked up.
Okay.
Even though it's been over, I don't know, it's almost 2 months since we haven't mandated to wear a mask. So I really, it's like, it's almost like a sense of anxiety people still have. And really, so I just kind of keep to myself, I don't really, because it's like before I'd be, outgoing, brash, whatever. And it's just like, but again, it was all the programming of being locked down and just down my news feed, how it's really bad to be white, middle-aged, male, cisgendered. And it's just over and over and over again. I'm like, holy shit. Like, I was like, I realized for years just absorbing it and absorbing it and absorbing it. But it also taught me how online is not real life. And also, I believe that we are happening people. People are not happening to us. So if I come with someone with, say, positivity, whatever, now they might, from their news feed, being like, well, I should hate or not like or judge, middle-aged white males. I should judge you. And now me having the empathy and getting that attitude at first, the standoffishness, that's just a programming, but I'm still a nice person. Maybe it's true. Maybe it's true about guys my age, my skin tone, whatever. Maybe it is. I don't know. But all I can do is be me. And all
Right.
I can do is just treat people with respect. And yeah, and realize that the programming might come first. Like I should prejudge you. And that energy you feel, that standoffness, ignore it and still be kind, still be respectful. You know what I'm saying? And and I've realized that people are just gonna come into flow. You know what I'm saying? Their energy changes, they're much more talkative, much more nice. They're much more open because again, they've been bombarded with the same crap I've been bombarded with. And
Right.
it's that's called psychological conditioning, and you're unconscious of it because you're just scrolling through your newsfeed, scrolling. So all you have to do is even just read a headline, and that's in your subconscious. Your conscious mind might not be paying too much attention to it. You know what I'm saying? But then you jump into the comment section, and the comment section is just it can be one big emotional trigger because like you might see you might not get involved in that snake's nest, but that viper's den, but it's like you might see somebody comment and that you agree with, and then you see them be attacked, you see them be insulted, you see them whatever, and you're feeling it. You're just you're getting more worked up, more tense over somebody else's opinion that you agree with. It's like when you become conscious of it, you're like, I'm just not getting involved. And it's like, but the way algorithms work is the more comments, the more popular the video, the post is. And if it's really negative, and they got filters on most relevant. I've tried to look at, can I select what's most relevant, or is Facebook telling me what's most relevant? So you're just seeing stupid ass comments. The algorithm is almost vicious in a way, in the psychological conditioning and how it just can trigger you, whatever. Like it's really just one big emotional trigger. If you're reading, now if you're posting and you're not like in your news feed is just friends and
Right.
just their photos, then you're on to something. Like it's a lot less. Like I started blocking news channels. Like if I saw just one agenda, like, and I won't give examples, but it's my news feed. So I just stop following. Like, and it's like I find my news feed now a lot more relaxing, a lot more the shit I want to see. Now the suggested, that's a hook too.
Oh
Then
yeah.
you gotta like delete that, delete that, delete that. But again, it's instead of just reading a whole bunch of crap from
Yeah.
news media sources, whatever, legacy media, this and that. And it's like it finally got to a point. It's like whatever they're posting, it's like it's exhausting. Okay, you're saying this. Now I gotta go and look at other sites. Now I gotta go and look at other
Right.
opinions because I just don't fucking believe you. You've been caught lying to me. It's like we kick so many people out of our lives just for even like the smallest amount of lies. You know what I'm saying? But
But we'll
we'll
re-elect a motherfucker for 40
but we
goddamn
we give the
years.
fucking legacy news chance after chance.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I get it. I get it.
Mistakes
Companies
happen.
have paid you $1 billion to lie to us. I get it. Okay. And it's just like it's like that friend that you keep going back to, and they're not going to give you a fucking straight answer, and they're manipulative. One answer, they can't have a conversation back. If you say anything else, they just talk down to you. And
Right.
it's like, sweet baby Jesus. Well, if you're saying this way for one reason, then that means there's another side of the coin automatically. Now I got to go look. But I finally got to a point where I just don't give a shit anymore. Not in a nihilistic way, but it's the world's going in a direction it's going to go. There's no stopping it. The wheel is too big. It's got too much momentum. There's too much power and control. It's just going. So wherever it's leading, it's leading. So my purpose in life is to help people, hopefully entertain and help. That's my purpose. I'm not really a fan of my purpose. Like hearing people's pain, like my phone or my messenger only goes off if people are having a bad day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like a cop. My phone doesn't ring unless someone is on the edge, like, or going towards the edge. And it's like, and they need somebody to unpack their darkness with. And I'm that guy. Now,
Yeah.
I know how to empathize. I know how to like not make it my own. I know how to get rid of the energy. I know how to give solutions. So it's good. That's my purpose, you know? But it's just no, there's no but to it. It's just I just don't like it's like if I read something even that I disagree with, it can ruin my day or it can get my energy involved in it. And now I'm being very more selfish with my energy because again, we have 60,000 thoughts a day, all using up energy. So like the synapses, the electric,
Right.
and it's every thought is going to create an emotion, every a chemical. So let's keep it simple, from serotonin to cortisol. So, happy to angry. So, and if I'm just absorbing this and reading it, it's just going in, going in, going in, going in, and it's storing. Because again, like I'm not making peace with it. I'm just moving on to something else. But when you finally just realize like how much just built up just from your social media account and looking and being bombarded with shit, it builds up so many emotions that we just become unaware of. Then all of a sudden we're now emotional, but we blame the external. It's Facebook's fault. It's Barbara's fault for what she posted, or I wouldn't have gotten pissed, or I
Right.
wouldn't be in Facebook jail for telling that bitch how she really
Facebook
is.
jail.
I'm doing 30 days hard. So how's this? Let me, something tells me to introduce you to this. Now, this is the book. How do I get this? Oh, there we go.
I was going to tell you, they have audiobooks on YouTube. That book's free. You can listen
Yeah,
to
yeah,
it
yeah. No,
on
no, no. I
YouTube.
have, I have, I have a copy of it, but I figured I got to buy a copy too.
Yeah.
So now there's one part in it. He talks about space time, Newtonian, like distance, space time, and time space, the quantum. Okay, so I haven't read in a while, but just bear with me here and give me your feedback on this. So the Newtonian 3D space-time reality, living as somebody with something, somewhere in some times, all separate.
Okay.
If feelings and emotions are a record of the past, and those feelings are driving your hardwired thoughts and behaviors, you'll keep repeating your past and therefore become predictable. Now you're finally in, what is it? Ensconced? Ensconced in the Newtonian world because Newtonian physics is based on predictable outcomes. The more you live in stress, the more you are simply matter, like atoms and matter. Trying to affect matter, and is matter trying to fight, force, manipulate, predict, control, and compete for outcomes. So as a result, everything you want to change, manifest, or influence is going to take a lot of time because this space-time reality, you have to move your physical body through space to create the outcome that you want. The more you are living in survival and using your senses to define your reality, the more you experience separation from a new future. Between where you are presently as one point of consciousness and where you want to be as another point of consciousness lies a very long distance, not to mention that your constant obsession on how it's going to happen is based on how you think and predict it should happen. But if you're predicting, your thinking is based on knowns. So there's no room for an unknown or a new possibility in your life. If you are trying to buy a house, for example, you need to save for a down payment, look for a house, get a loan, go through the application process, beat out other buyers, and then spend 30 years dragging your body back and forth to work through space, trying to pay it off. These 2 points in consciousness, having the idea to buy the house and having the house with the mortgage paid off, are going to take time to interact. In a similar way, if you want a new relationship, You might go online, set up a profile, scroll through the countless other profiles, make a list to reach out to contact each one, or water flowers, and eventually go on many dates in the hopes of finding someone intriguing. If you want a new job, you might have to take time to create a resume, search for the open options, and go on interviews. What these processes have in common, they require time, which you have to experience as linear. You may get what you want, but the more you live in survival, so cortisol, stress, the more it's going to take because you're matter trying to influence matter. And there's a distinct separation in space and time between where you are and where you want to be. We can agree then that this three-dimensional reality within your experience of time, there's a definite past, present, and future. Now, since you live in linear time, you also experience a separation from time because the past, present, and future appear separate in moments in time. You are here and your future is there. So, and then it gives a graphic of the present moment to the past, just making it all linear. So now I'm going to just try and speed this up. Now, when we experience separation from our future desires, we think and dream of what we want and then set about performing a series of actions in linear time to go get them. If we're always under financial stress, for example, we want money. If we have a disease, we want health. If we feel lonely, we want a relationship or companionship. Because of this experience of duality and separation, we are driven to create, and this is how we naturally evolve and grow into our dreams. But if we are matter focused on matter, trying to influence matter to get money, health, love, and so on, as we have established, it's going to take quite a bit of time and energy. When we finally attain what we're seeking, the emotion we feel from the fruition to our creation or the meeting of those 2 points of consciousness satiates the sense of lack we formerly experienced. Now, so when the new job comes, we feel amazing. When the health comes, we feel great when we heal. So we feel more whole. Now, if we're living in this state, we are waiting for something or someone outside of us to change how we feel internally. So what I believe he's trying to say is that if we're creating the stress and going out in the time and energy to get it, we put more of a distance in a quantum field. Because like one point of consciousness, I'm stressed, I'm lonely, I'm broke. All right. Now, when I achieve these things, then in the linear time, then I'll be happy. Okay. So he's like in the quantum world, if you can get grateful and happy and picture it, so you're already feeling the emotions in that reality. Okay. Right. Like I've already got the job. I've already got the partner. I've already got the money. Then our body has no choice but to meet that future in the quantum field.
Okay.
Any questions?
No, keep going.
Oh, you want me to keep going? Okay. Okay. So once we feel the relief from the experience of lack, because we are embracing the emotional correlated with the manifestation of the external event, we pay close attention to whomever or whatever caused the relief. This cause and effect forms a new memory. And to some degree, we evolve. When something in our world doesn't happen or seems to be taking a long time to happen, we experience more lack, like the feeling of lack, because we feel even more separate from what we're trying to create. Now, our own emotional state of lack, frustration, impatience, and separation is keeping our dreams at a distance, further increasing the time it'll take for our desired outcome to occur. My throat's getting a little dry, but I'll give it a little more. So this part is from somebody to nobody, from someone to no one, from something to no thing, from somewhere to nowhere. and from some time to no time. Now, what he's talking about here is when we shut down our five senses and shut down the ego mind, there is another layer of awareness to you that's connected to a unified quantum field. Some people call that our higher self. Some people call it the soul. But it's in every single human being. And this is what all the gurus talk. Dr. Wayne Dyer, ego, edging God out. So just look at that as not as a bad thing, but look at it as like a mind, an unconscious mind that's always chattering, chatter, chatter, me, myself, and I, me, myself, and I, me, myself, and I. And it's always creating an energy. Yes, the ego can be filled, but then it gets bored again. It gets empty and it's me, 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 me. Capiche?
Okay.
So this is what he's talking about. So he's like, from someone to no one. So me thinking I am Jeff Kerins, that's ego. It's a false self. It's a programming self. Like, who is Jeff Kerins? Well, he is what his job is. He is how many friends he has. He is how much money he has, this and that. All fake. And when it dissolves away, when the mind chatter dissolves, then you experience something new on a feeling level, like on a quantum feeling plugged in, just connected to everything. You realize you are connected to everything because our five senses creates the Newtonian space and time.
Okay.
But outside of that, when you can access your awareness, so that's thought without judgment, when you can access your awareness with the mind shut off, you experience wholeness, you experience connectedness. So he has a chapter in here explaining, like, even the space has energy. So like, there is, in the quantum world, there is no space and time. There's just energy, and energy cannot die. It can only transform. Nikola Tesla says, like, there's a great beyond, a great void that he cannot access, but has accessed, but he doesn't know the formula to do it, but it's the great loving unknown. It's like, all the gurus say, to find your answers, all your answers are in silence. When you can silence your mind, everything comes to you. So when you can get your mind into theta, which is half conscious, half asleep, like you're almost going to go into delta, which is REM. But in that moment, just keep the body's asleep, but the mind's still awake. That is when we can have out of body experiences. We're psychic as fuck. Like, it's a really in tune. Like, meditation tries to quiet the mind so it can access something bigger than itself. And it's really a feeling level. You're just aware of it. And the awareness is grandeur. It's beautiful. It's amazing. Like, it's like a tears of joy type thing. And it's magical. Like, you've never got taught it in school. It doesn't come up in sports. But it's just something we can access when we close down our ego mind. So this is what he's talking about. This is what he teaches. So if the Newtonian laws are an outward expression of the physical material laws of space-time, a dimension where there's more space than time, we could say in a sense that quantum laws are the inverse.
Okay.
The quantum is an inward expression of the laws of nature, an invisible field of information and energy that unifies all material, meaning unifying all matter. So this immaterial field organizes, connects, and governs all laws of nature. It is a dimension where there's more time than space. In other words, it's a dimension where time is eternal. As you learned, well, you didn't, in chapters 2 and 3, take our attention off people and things at certain places in our external world. We're no longer placing our attention on our body and ceasing to think about time and schedules. We become nobody, no thing, nowhere, and in no time. We do this through a process of disconnecting from our body, our identity, our gender, our disease, our name, our problems, our personal relationships, our pain, our past, and so on. This is what it means to get beyond the self, to go from consciousness of somebody to nobody, from the consciousness of someone to no one, from the consciousness of something to no thing, from the consciousness of somewhere to nowhere, and from the consciousness of being in some time to being in no time. I'll give you this one last thing. So when we take our attention off our body, our environment, and our time, we get beyond the self, a living physical body. Because how do we experience our body and know it's there? It's through the five senses. So when you consciously shut down the five senses, there's another point of observation. So I think I said this before, is that anything we can observe, we are not, because there has to be a point of consciousness, a point of awareness. So if I'm aware of my body, I am not my body. If I'm aware of my thoughts, then that means I'm not my thoughts. And if I'm aware of my emotions, then that means I am not my emotions. There's another point that's observing it. So I think it's the Buddhas also talk about samadhi. And this is exactly what he's talking about. When you achieve the mind chatter, it's like when you go into the breath, the observer becomes the observed, and it just connects. Like it's almost, for me, it's like a white light. It gets kind of scared at first, and then it just connects and it's gone. And then you're just like, holy shit. It's like you're not aware of your body. You don't give a fuck what time it is. You don't care what happened last week, last month, or any time in your life. You're not worried about the future, and you are just feeling grand. It's amazing. I've achieved it probably 3 times in life. And the first time I achieved it, I was 35. So this is not when I was a kid or whatever. It was crazy. It felt like an exorcism. But Dispenza teaches it on a way that you don't. Me, I always have to do things the hard way. But Dispenza teaches it just on a natural level on how to just stop the chatter in the mind. He's got all these meditation practices in here. And I don't know, have you ever heard of a Kundalini?
Yep,
Okay.
heard of it.
So he teaches how to do a Kundalini, how to activate the body into a Kundalini state. Now, on the scientific level, what is happening? So, what the way that it's taught in the religion is that I believe, I research, is it's the serpent going through the chakras. And as the serpent is going through, it's clearing every chakra out right out of our crown, and then we're just connected because there's no pain, no nothing. The body is back into homeostasis, which is peace, love, and joy, and just all the energies connected. Now, on a biological level, what is happening is that when you, like, we have cerebral spinal fluid, and it goes up slowly and it goes down slowly through the spine to our perineum. I think that's the word. So, like, you'll see breath work when you look up how to activate your third eye. Like, you'll just see people just breathing their asses off. So they're oxygenating the body, getting it charged up. And then when they exhale, they flex from everything from your perineum. So your taint to your abs, to your chest, to your neck, and you're bringing your point of awareness. That's it. Not thought, not judgment, but your watch, it's all going up. And when it goes past the reticulated activating system, it hits the pineal gland, and then it becomes the different type of when they charge, there's an electrical charge with it. So, and then there's different types of melatonin that can be produced as well, that just like produce DMT. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you have crazy spiritual experiences. And a lot of people in Joe Dispenza's workshop that I've read, they heal. It's like they heal diseases, or bring, like, this one woman had MS. She brought it down to like maybe has an attack to once a month, but she walked into the place in a wheelchair. Like, see, I joke around with people. I say, like, I believe Joe Dispenza is the second coming of Christ, but and that gets my Christian friends a little worked up. But I'm more teasing, is that like Jesus would heal people. Joe Dispenza teaches you how to heal you. So, oh, now you're giving me the full screen, are you?
Yeah, I've got my camera seems to have frozen. I'm like, why am I not moving? Sometimes it
So
does
yeah,
that. So I was just gonna reactivate it here. Yeah, I
there's
bet the religious type are not gonna like that. Can't deny
Well,
there's only in Christ. But look, man, there are mind over body is huge. And I told you to watch that. I think the first time you were on the podcast to look up Darren Brown, and his mentalism is off the charts. Did you ever look him up? It's amazing. Darren Brown, amazing. And yeah, these are people that he does the same thing on stage, mentalism, kind of, where he just triggers something in people and can rid you temporarily of an ailment. It's not and he'll tell people like, this isn't, you're not fixed. You still have cancer. But at the moment, you don't feel the pain. You don't feel this. It's better. And it is mind over body. And if you could trick your body into stop attacking itself, you could essentially go backwards. Yeah, you
okay.
are the placebo. I know you brought that book up last time.
Yeah. No, but in what you just said, he teaches you how it's done. He teaches you so the way we get hypnotized through commercials and TV, from what I remember, I still have to read this book twice. First time is just going through, taking notes. So when we get hypnotized, we need a reaction or an emotional charge. So when a commercial comes on, we'll hear subdued music. And he made a point of the shingles commercial, where there's foreboding music as it comes on, and they've got it transparent, saying, actors. And there's an old guy there. The wife walks in the room and the guy pulls off a shirt. Looks like he's got Ebola or something. Not shingles, just patches of scars missing on him. And then, so you're absorbing, and it says 1 in 3 people will get shingles. If you've had chicken pox, you will get shingles. And it's so the emotion, seeing it, so it just bypassed the conscious mind. So we're not analyzing because the emotion was higher than the thought. Because now we're like, oh my God, I had chicken pox. Oh my God, I don't want that on my back. So fear, fear, fear. And they're like, now talk to your doctor about what's available. Now, they don't have to mention the drug because they don't have to mention the side effects. But we got programmed. If you watch that over and over and over again, it's just like when we learned about COVID. It just paranoid people because it was just over and over and over. And the news was just creating fear. Every news writer, every producer, they know when they write a story or they create a video, they're going to produce or reinforce an emotion. Now, it's like when they gave out the data numbers, the stats, this many cases, this many deaths.
Right.
So what they did was they gave one stat with a whole bunch of bad news, bad news, bad news, creating fear, creating fear, creating fear. And what creates fear is lack of knowledge, lack of awareness. So, my ADD kicked in, but I'll get back there. So it's like with the stat numbers, they never broke, what could calm people down is that, okay, we had 1,000 deaths. Out of those 1,000 deaths, the age range was 80 years of age plus. Then they break it down smaller. Then they can get even more granular, saying, well, this person had stage 4 cancer or type 2 diabetes. They were 300 pounds and the heart couldn't take the lack of oxygen, whatever, the virus, this and that. So that would calm people down because now they can detach. Well, I'm not that person. I stay in shape. I do this. I'm not 80 years old. But when you limit information, you're going to create more fear. Now, at the end of every news article, what they could have done was saying, again, give more information and reinforce a positive note. But they didn't. Article after article, fear, fear. And then when all that fear is built up, then they start saying, well, now it's a war. We're going to war. So psychologically, you're now on a side.
Right.
Okay. And if you speak anything against that, then you are, as George W. Bush say, with the terrorists. So then the articles, and it's like, you'll get news articles, radio ads, and it's like, we're in this together. Go get vaccinated. We're in this together. Now, I'm not anti-vax, but I do understand psychological conditioning. That's the only angle I'm coming from. So it's, I don't like it. because it changed people.
Right.
When you get pumped up with and guilt is the second worst toxic emotion a human being can feel. The lowest is shame. If you're carrying around too much shame, you do not want to live anymore.
Okay.
So,
I get that.
but yeah, with all of that, when you can unpack that, undo that, close the mind off, not become Lauren for a while. So, okay, you started off talking about you weren't sleeping well and something about TikTok. Now, here's the thing about not sleeping well, okay? Like if you don't want to wake up at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. or you want to feel rested no matter how little sleep you get, instead of falling asleep, you're now, just for the couple of days or even just for tonight, put yourself to sleep. Now what you do that, just when you're like, pick a bedtime. I don't give a shit if it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. Just pick a bedtime where you turn off your phone, you turn off the TV, you turn off your computer, you turn it all off, and you actually sit upright. Don't lay down. Sit upright, put some pillows. You don't have to go into a lotus stance. Just get comfortable. And you just start breathing in. 6 Mississippis in, 6 Mississippis out. And just control it. And you don't have to go to maximum. You don't have to empty the lungs. And then after a couple of rounds, you go to 7 seconds in, 7 seconds out. Now, in that time, you're going to hear mind chatter, the same old tune you heard all day, because that's the mind still fighting to stay awake. Now, this is where you're like, today is over. All the whatever it was, if it was a great day, if it was a shit day, and no matter whatever comes tomorrow, next week, next month, I'm going to be okay. And now you're breathing. So in keeping that controlled breathing, you're slowing the heart. And it's just like, and again, you like, some tears might come out, which is a good thing, like get that emotion out that the mind's been playing on all day. And you'll notice just as that happens, you're going to feel the urge to lay down. And that's the body saying we're ready to go to sleep. And if your mind gives you a chatter, you're just gonna be like, we'll deal with it tomorrow and it'll be okay. So what happens is when we go to sleep, our 5% conscious mind shuts down for the night, and then our 95% subconscious comes out to play. Now, what is our subconscious? It's emotions. It's a big, thick layer of emotions with then thoughts under it. Okay, so if you're going through a stressful week and everything else, you'll probably have nightmares or stressed out dreams. When I had PTSD, nightmares, just reoccurring nightmares, creating the same feeling over and over and over again. Then learning how to surrender and getting those emotions out of me, the dreams, the first thing to go away were the dreams, the nightmares, because that's what happens. The thought of suppressing all day, suppressing and repressing all the emotions, the stresses we're trying to fight and, spend a whole bunch of time and space to get out of.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that, because for as long as I knew her, she had nightmares almost every night. Constantly, something was trying to kill her.
Yeah,
Running from something, literally every night. And I was like, that is so strange. And I'd met another woman that, when I got divorced, that she had a dream that she saw herself out of body and she was dead. And that dream set her off, man. She was like, it like highly affected her. And she was like, I don't know. It told her like we shouldn't see each other, we shouldn't talk to one another. For some reason, she had this dream and she was like, something in my life is not okay. One dream, that was it. I don't usually remember dreams, honestly, ever. I was just like, if I have a dream, sometimes you'll wake up, you'll be like, hey, what the hell? And you want to go back and get back in it and redream it. I figured out that never works, but I don't really have bad dreams ever. But I know people do. It's definitely
lucky fucking you.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Some people have great dreams. I want some of those. I don't remember them.
you start having really good dreams when you unpack your day and you put yourself to sleep, because you are setting the intention to let go of your stresses just for the night, just for the night. Now I also have another solution for you if you still keep waking up between 3 and 4. So 3 and 4 is the witching hour. One solution Wayne Dyer would do when he get woken up between 3 and 4 in the morning is he immediately sit up, not open his eyes, put his feet on the edge of the bed, and he's like, what do I need to know? Because it's again, he's staying in theta, okay, and he's not fully waking up. He's not waking up the conscious mind, and that's in theta. We are our most psychic. We are our most whatever, but we can kind of channel that energy, our spirit guides, whatever. He always got good messages. I tried it a couple of times, but I never remembered, but I always felt good doing it. Right. Now, another thing you can do to really play around with 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the morning is activate an out-of-body experience. Now, because our melatonin is so high, okay, that if you wake up for about 5 to 10 minutes and then go back to sleep, again, the body's high in melatonin, and it's a meditation of just repeating some things, that my body's asleep, my mind is awake. My body's asleep, my mind is awake. My body's asleep, my mind is awake. And you'll feel sleep paralysis come on. So that's the body, that's the conscious. Sleep paralysis is the conscious mind while the body's still asleep. So we need sleep paralysis so we don't go walking out the fucking door of our house. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, people who sleepwalk and whatever have a problem with that. But so what you do in that moment, because you're conscious of it and your body's still asleep, you literally put your awareness right here and you just picture it going out, just going out and going out. It's I've only achieved it probably 2 or 3 times. And when I was out of my body, actually, I saw a relative that had just passed and I talked to them for a bit. Now, whether it's all in my mind or not, it was very healing. It was very good. And I woke up fucking way better than I was for months. You know what I'm saying? So again, if it was all in my head or if it was real, doesn't matter. But that process brought me to that level, to that experience. And now to have that healing feeling, and it's I've also freaked myself out because I've seen me sleeping, so if you can achieve it, you don't if you can achieve it, if you want to go somewhere, you just set the intention. That's, if you want, I never left my room or whatever. It's but if you want to go somewhere, you just think about the person and you'll be, because again, time, space, just awareness.
Okay.
So, again, just a few things to practice. And again, you were talking about why did you bring up TikTok at the beginning? Or do you remember?
I don't remember.
Okay, no, fair enough. But now, just
I don't.
Okay, it's not important.
Not important.
It's not important. I swear to you, it's not.
It don't matter.
Well, at least to the point I'm going to try and make. Now, TikTok is the leading cause for mental disorders in people. Now, it's not.
I'm going to fact check that.
Go for it. Now, okay, and then check DID, Dissociative Identity Disorder. TikTok is making mental illness cool. This is, how's this? Never made a video. I only watch videos that a friend sends. So I got to set up an account, or I did set up an account for the Surrender Club, but I haven't even made a video yet because it's just I'm
going to say that there's no fact back that's opinionated.
Look, it's not. How's this, big guy? I don't know what opinion you have for a teenager website, but mostly used by teenagers. But here's the thing. So it's the DID is really doctors, psychiatrists, they're reporting an increase of self-diagnosed kids saying that they have dissociative identity disorder. And, so with the gender splitting and being unique and whatever, these kids are jumping on with it. And because it's the cool thing. And if you watch the videos, it's they're just shifting in and out of altars. and they're labeling their altars, calling them certain names. Now, it's funny because like where this one kid almost broke down every emotion they can feel into a personality. You know, oh, this is Barbara and she's in control when I'm angry. You know what I'm saying? And this is Lucy when I'm feeling sad. Like Lucy always feels sad. Lucy always has sad thoughts and whatever. So it's like these different levels of emotions where we process them as one into the one self. This kid literally broke and called them different names and identities. It's like, how's this, man? I hate to use that phrase, do your own research, but it made sense because it's like monkey see, monkey do. Now, our rebellious years were like, you know, skinheads, emos, like
Right.
that was a way to rebel and being like, fuck the system, fuck people, whatever. I'm different from the preps, the mainstream, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And it's like now it's like, but TikTok makes it look cool for depression, anxiety, because how many likes they get, how many comments they get, and like so brave, so inspiring. It's
Yeah.
just a reinforcing psychological conditioning. Now, again, I'm gonna stop talking about that because again, I have to have an account on TikTok because I gotta get the word out. So it's like, but it's the algorithms too that are vicious for kids because
Algorithms
once you
are
start searching
vicious.
stuff, they reinforce it.
Right. The algorithms are a problem. And it is a problem that there is no oversight to fix currently. It just is it's a runaway train. And like you said in the beginning of this, talking about like social media and what you see. So when I left the motorcycle industry, most people on my Facebook feed were motorcycle related because I used my page for business. I had a business page, but then when you first start off and you're doing any kind of venture, it's you are the brand, right? So I had a bunch of people that, you know, friend requested me on Facebook. My personal page was full of bike stuff. And I had to go through and I just removed, if you have a motorcycle, you ride a motorcycle, you look at a motorcycle, I removed you from my Facebook feed because it just, man, I'm like, I am over this. I'm out of this industry. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to see your dumb shit. I want to read yours. Because here's the thing, people need to understand you cannot unsee something. If you read it, a message, you can't unread it. If someone sends Jeff Kerins a fuck you message at midnight, you look at it, you've read it, can't unsee it, right? And even if it doesn't affect you that much, your subconscious might affect that. That's how I was in the business that I was in. When someone would get on there and give you some kind of any kind of negative flag, you can't unsee it. So I just remove all that shit from my feed. I don't want to see that. And I also take that into the real world. Cut negative people out of your life. Just look, you gotta walk away from them. And I need to find more positive people in my life. But
Be fucking
negativity,
positive.
I try to be positive all the time. I
There is no
mean,
try. There's only do.
yeah, I hear you. There is due. You know, some days you just get your ass
Or
kicked.
it's not
It's
even
just the
do, it's
day.
be. It's
Okay.
be. So when we're stressed out, it's called heart brain incoherence. The heart that wants to love, that wants to pump out the oxytocin, it's got 90,000 neurons on it. It's got its own intelligence. If you look up the Heart Math Institute, I think I said that right. They have done studies from the early 2000s how important, like the mind almost has its own brain. Like it's got, and I'm gonna stop there because that's not my wheelhouse. I was
Right.
like, yep, makes sense. Okay, I'm moving on. Now, if the mind, because the mind can create anger, it can create fear, judge. So what it does is it makes it incoherent for what the heart wants. Now, when you make these two coherent, just inside of you feel more grateful, you feel more loving, you feel more optimistic, you feel more homeostasis when you get these two going. Now, if you can get all three going, your stomach, your heart, and your brain, So cut out the sugar, the carbs, build up the serotonin. 90% of our
Man,
serotonin, which is our gratitude, is in our stomach.
let me tell
Match it
you
with
on the stomach thing. Today, I was watching my entire account go to smoke in fucking market, and it starts recovering. Jacob did okay. He goes, man, I'm gonna go get us a pizza. I was like, I don't want it. And he was like, wow, man, it's good. I'm like, I know I do enjoy the racetrack pizza. Gas station pizza. I'm gonna let you. It's a little fucking low down secret here. It's some good shit over here. But I was like, I don't want it, man. He's like, it's gonna be good. I said, I don't want you to put that shit in my body. I already don't feel good about what's happening right now. It's gonna make me feel worse. I don't want to put some bad shit in my fucking body. It's gonna amplify this feeling. I was like, I'm not eating it. And he's like, I was like, hey, sometimes, but that's what we do. When we feel bad, some people just eat, right? They go to something like cookies, they go to sweets. Some people just eat their feelings, which is, it could just be an amplifier to those feelings and make them worse because you're putting shit in your body.
Okay, let me ask you a question. What is eat your feelings?
Eat your feelings is like, I feel bad. What will make me feel better? I'm going to go get some ice cream. I'm going to eat some candy bars. I'm going to eat an entire bag of chips. Like whatever it is, like you just eat. People do that. They turn to that food and your stomach's going, give it to me. This will make you feel better, but it's not going to make you feel better at all.
That's mind being stuck in the body. When our body's in control, when it's withdrawing from something, processed food, sugar, caffeine, weed, alcohol, the crack of cocaine, when the body detoxes and it's not getting what it wants, the mind goes into it.
Right.
A friend of mine, when we dated years ago, we had like this amazing weekend, like cloud nine, la la land, the whole fucking nine. And she had to go to work on Monday. And she phoned me in the afternoon and she's like, I don't get it. She's like, I had an amazing weekend. And she's like, and I went to fill up gas and I just started thinking negative again. And I was like, okay, well, what did you have to eat? Nothing. Well, no, I had a coffee. I'm like, okay. So what it feels like after the crash of caffeine in the stomach, it gets irritated in a way that creates an uneasy feeling because it's detoxing or it's craving or it's processing. It's the crash of things. So the mind is like, I know that feeling. That feels like I'm going to label that anxiety or I'm going to label that a problem. Now, because we're not aware of it, the mind is like, I know that feeling. Here's some stories from your past that created that feeling. Here's some stories, fantasy future stories that can create that feeling. And so now we're in the loop and we're just in the loop. So it's like, get some acidophilus in you and go have a protein shake, settle down the stomach and whatever. It's like anybody I see that's bloated, like, the beer belly.
Yeah.
They're stressed.
Bro, let me tell you, that woman woke up looking fucking pregnant more often than not, dude.
What? Who?
Megan. She was bloat. Like, and that was, she had.
I'm sure she wants that online.
Hey, this is what it is. This is real world. And we couldn't figure it out. I thought it was diet, gas, constipation, whatever it was. I mean, I'm talking like lower belly bloat, extreme. And sometimes she'd wake up and it would be gone and she'd feel real good about herself. And then at night, it would be like, where did that come from? Like, you look.
Did you eat anything?
Yeah, no, we would eat. I would make her eat good food. We would eat like good meals. Work out, eat, chicken, nice healthy stuff, like chicken and vegetables. Like, we would eat healthy food, not junk food. Never really ate bad, but
any carbs at night?
Not really a heavy carb diet at all. But it was weird, man. It was weird. Sometimes she just had protein shake for dinner, and it was like, I don't think that was enough. Like, sometimes I would say she didn't eat enough, but then it's like the bloat wouldn't go away. I'm like, well, what is it? It's inflammation of some sort in your body your body not getting rid of something and blowing up. Whether it's, I thought maybe it was gas. I'm like, man, have some laxatives, find something, get it out. Whatever it is, it's in there. Like, it's a real thing. It's either air or shit. One of the two. Get it out. But
Well,
maybe it's just inflammation. It's just inflamed. Swelling.
fair enough. Now,
Stress.
when I get, are you done yet?
No, I'm going to wait for you to start and throw one more at you. Go ahead.
GFY. So, when bloating, for most people besides Miss Megan, it's with a lot of it can be insulin resistance from eating too many carbs, eating late at night. It never gets a chance to process and digest. So beer, yeast, whatever, it kind of like sticks on the walls of your lining, either small or large intestines. Now, what cures that, literally cures the beer belly, is going 0 carbs, 0 sugar for like 3-4 days, and with acidophilus and oregano oil. So acidophilus is putting probiotics back in that kills off the yeast that's collapsing in the wall. Like, and the oregano oil helps speed it up. Like, ton of water, no sugar, and you get more bloated for the few days, and then one morning you're going to wake up, you're going to take a shit, and you're literally going to be like, you're going to feel so amazing, like a brand new person. Like you just removed like a toxic relationship. You feel free from it. It's amazing. And then the stomach shrinks back down. Now you can go and abuse it again if you want. You know, I did. You know, it's like I enjoyed it for a few days, and then slowly but surely, like over months, the bad habits built back up again. That's the way kind of my life works. I get into bad habits. They almost make me sick, or they're putting me on a way of making me unhealthy. I do drastic changes. I feel like back to being 100%, and then I go back to making different bad decisions. You know, life's an experience.
Yeah.
It
is.
But yeah, no, for bloat, like I'm not gonna say for Miss M that acidophilus is the key, because again, like it's like she gets it, goes away. I have no idea, and I'm not even gonna pretend that I know a woman's anatomy. I know stomach lining's pretty good because I had to research my own, but yeah, I'm gonna stop talking because I wanted to reaffirm something, but I don't really feel comfortable about talking about your ex-girlfriend.
There you go. I don't know. I just, when you're saying stress and bloating, I'm thinking, man, it's a lot of stress.
They are linked.
You know, and again, maybe that was a part of it too, is just blew up, and people out there have to realize like some things that happen to you aren't so A and B. Like it could be something completely irrelevant. I mean, look, man, people like to Google stuff on the internet and self-medicate and treat themselves. And to that point, she also had it's funny. It's funny. She would tell you if she was here. She got ringworm.
I don't think she would.
She would. She had ringworm, and she was from the gym, I guess. A little spot. She thought it was.
What gym do you go to?
We go to LA Fitness. Apparently, I don't know. It's the only place she could have gotten it. We both do the same workout, so I never got it, but she had ringworm.
Fucking ringworm from a gym?
This little rash. It's prevalent there because the machine. I don't know. People sweat. Whatever. Apparently, that's the thing.
Ringworms.
Anyway, apparently her brother told her. Her brother told her that that's where he got ringworm from, and LA Fitness. So that's what it was. So she believed that's where it was from. So anyway, what's funny about this is she had a small little rash. It was tiny on her arm. And she's like, I think I got like poison ivy or something. So she goes and she's treating it as poison ivy, putting this cream on it. And let me tell you, people who are diligent about reading and following instructions and doing shit that they think is working. And she's like, oh, it's getting better. I'm like, it looks the same, whatever. So like 2 weeks go by. She's like, oh. Then she goes, oh, I'm supposed to put this on and let it sit and then wash it off. I haven't been doing that. I'm like, okay, that's funny. So you're not even applying the cream correctly. Hilarious. And I was like, I don't think that's, where would you have even gotten poison ivy? She's like, I don't know. So I said,
but fucking ringworm.
Yeah. So we go.
I was doing squats and
right.
Worm just dropped and came into my arm. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
It's not how you get ringworm from an actual worm. But so we go. We're at the grocery store. I said, go to the pharmacy. I said, just ask the person in the pharmacy. What do you think that is? I said, I think it's a fungus. I think it's a fungal infection, which is what ringworm is. It's a fungal infection.
Oh, is
So,
it?
yeah, it is. It's
Yeah,
like
no, that
athlete's
makes
foot.
sense because you can get fungal diseases at the
Yeah.
gym, in the shower, you know,
Right.
under the
It's like
toenails, whatever.
athletes.
Okay,
It's like
that makes
athlete's
sense.
foot, but it's just not on your foot, basically. So it's a fungal infection. And so and the lady pharmacist, she goes, yeah, it looks like pretty. I would say that's ringworm. She goes, yeah, there's a cream over there specifically for that. You just apply it, maybe like 4 to 6 weeks, it'll go away. And it's like, oh my god! So I was laughing because I'm like, you're over here thinking poison. You're putting this thing on you, it does nothing for it whatsoever. And meanwhile, it's something completely different.
It's
And-
not a fungus; it's a virus.
Ringworm? Did you Google it?
I got better than Google. I got JoJo.
Common infection caused by a fungus. That's what it is. Skin infection caused by a fungus. It's shaped like a ring, usually red and itchy. Anyone can get it. Yeah, it's fungus. So it just comes from maybe like the equipment. Someone on the equipment may have had it or didn't wipe it down or.
But you got strippers working there, like
Dude, there are some people at the gym need a fucking shower. Okay, they smell like fucking balls and ass. You need to do better.
and you pay to go there
Everyone pays to go to the gym.
to smell balls and ass,
Yeah.
and yet you're shy about talking to a woman who shows up to a place that smells like balls and ass, wondering what she's gonna say.
Listen, man. Yes, because
I gotta water that balls and ass.
You gotta water it.
Because hey, guess what? If you're walking into a place with the balls and ass, you're already like your standards are low. So a guy like you walking up is something to be expected.
Calm down. I'm not to be expected. I'm just saying. That's what some people there. You're like, dude.
You got
Stop.
ringworm.
I didn't get it, which is
No,
crazy.
it's like you're at the gym. You're
Apparently,
just
it's
watching
even Apparently,
I
it's
hope you
even
get
like
ringworm, buddy.
apparently it spreads highly contagious. And I was like, how did I not get it? Because at the time, she was still living here, and I slept on that arm. Like I slept with her every night, like her arm on my face. How do I not have a giant ringworm on my face? I don't know. It was is interesting. I chalk it up to me having an amazing immune system. That's what I chalk it up to. My body defeats a lot of bullshit. I don't really get sick ever. I'm good at it. Except strep throat. Keep that shit away from me. Get strep throat, you can fuck off. That stuff is not to be fucked with. Everything else, though, I'm good. I'll kill it. I'm not really scared of it. So I'll chalk it up for it. Ringworm defeated.
Is this where? Do you think this is where we should end it at?
This
ringworm?
might be. It might end it at ringworm, man. I don't know. It's
Is there anything you want to talk about, or are we just going to leave it at like fungal viruses?
Man, look. We should leave it on something positive.
Well, the ringworm went away.
It did. It did. It disappeared, and it's treatable. You can cure it.
Do you want me to say something positive?
What's something positive from Jeff and Kerins?
Positive.
It's fuck off, man. Positive. Nah, man. Look, we all have ups and downs. We all have shit that we deal with every day.
Of course.
Stress, anxiety, depression. Don't sit and suffer it alone. Reach out. Talk to somebody. Anybody. If you don't have anyone to talk to, message me or Jeff. Somebody. And, you got to get it off your chest. You don't have to sit there and suffer. There's a quote on one of the videos I listened to that Rogan talks about. I don't even remember who he said it, but that most men suffer in quiet desperation. And that is a very valid statement, I think, for a lot of people, not just men, that they do suffer in
People
quiet
who
desperation.
identify as men.
People who identify as desperate.
There's a lot of people who suffer in silence.
Yes.
And a lot of people suffer because they don't know any different. Like,
Right.
When it happens young enough in life and you've never experienced another emotion, for an example, until my 20s, until I had a breakthrough, I can remember as far back as grade 1 as always being anxious. And I had this my whole life, just thinking this is life. And then I had this breakthrough when I was 26 and the anxiety went away and I'm like, holy fuck, there's another way to life. Like, It's because now I have another consciousness, another awareness of way life can be. So when we're stressed or pissed off, anger and grief, suicidal, this and that, and we just think that's the way it is. That's a lie. It's a lie we tell ourselves, and it's a fair lie because we don't know any better. We're
Right.
not aware of it. Every day we wake up and it's like going to the casino. I'm going to roll the dice to see if I have a good day. And the deck's stacked against you because yesterday was shit too.
Yeah.
So when you become aware that you can change your internal work, your emotions, your health, everything, when you realize it's on you, the journey sucks, but the breakthrough gets better every single time. And the way you can get it out is by talking about it. Or do what I did. Spend 10 years reading fucking books, watching videos, meditating, going to seminars, everything else. But again, this is something I'm passionate about. The hell was that?
It was just a thing on my computer tab.
Don't interrupt me, fool. No, but it's like we have all the power to heal ourselves, to at least be happy, at least to get a little more optimistic and see a little bit more or feel a little bit more in life. Like I ask people, what is more important when your life flashes before your eyes? Like when the time's up, what's going to be more important? The way you thought about life or the way you felt about life?
I don't know. That's kind of a dark way of looking at it.
The fuck's wrong with you?
I mean, yeah. I don't know. What you thought about it or what you felt about it. I mean, how at that point, I don't know that matters. I mean, shit. I don't know. How do you separate those two things? We're supposed to be positive. You're going down into death. Damn it,
no,
Jeff.
Man. It's actually okay. Take a breath. It's actually quite simple and it's not that dark. Meaning, if the way you felt about your life is more important than the way you thought about it, then start looking at your life on a feeling level, not a thinking level. That's the point I'm trying to make. Not saying when the day comes and all your sins will be judged. We're not there. But it's like, I believe that life is only good by the way it feels. I couldn't give a shit about if 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 equal 222,022. I have no idea if that was right. I just felt like it. So anyways, but yeah, we can, I'm done. The night's done. All right. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Lauren, I love you, buddy. Love the banter.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing like it's group.
I will always share. I will always talk about it. I have nothing to hide. I don't know.
No. Anyways, it's not me who's getting my balls chopped off, possibly one day.
Hey.
But good luck with that ringworm.
It will be one day. Jeff, one day you'll get out of your self-absorbed hole and let someone chop your balls off for you. And then you'll love it. You'll be like, this was amazing.
Now you need sleep. Say goodnight, Lauren.
Good night. Good night, Jeff.
Good night, buddy.
Oh, man. All right, folks. Let me, hey, it's just me here. All right. If you join the show, we want to turn this into a call-in show where you can speak with us directly and unpack some of the things going on in your life. Currently, it has been a lot about me and a lot about just self-help, self-healing from Jeff. As I go through different times in my life and the people that are affecting that and part of my life and the feelings that I have about them. I'm quite an emotional person. I'm a logical person. I'm a patient person. I'm calm, collected, and I try to look at things through the eyes of I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. I try to look at things through a rational perspective without an overthink. But I have had times in my life recently that have brought me to depression states and sadness and sorrow and trying to figure out how to deal with them and move forward. You know, it's tough. It's not easy. So I met Jeff through this podcast, and I've enjoyed conversing with him. And, you know, he's helped me understand some things about myself and through some situations. And I hope that he can help some other people as well. So if you'd like to be a part of the show or you'd like to reach out to him directly, check out the link in the comments as well. And we'll see you guys next time. Till then, everyone, have a great night.